Thanks, Evan, and thank you to RailsConf for inviting me to speak today. My name is Emily. I use both they, them, and she, her pronouns. I'm an early career developer and actually a second career developer, and I'm currently working at Shopify. A few years ago, I started teaching myself to code, and for the first year of learning, I was alone. Eventually, I enrolled in a boot camp where I experienced a lot of pair programming and being guided by technical coaches through their Socratic method. They didn't just spoon-feed me answers to problems, but instead they asked me leading questions to help me find my own way to the right solutions. That experience was really my first taste of both pair programming and mentorship. About 3 months after graduating, I was hired at Shopify. When I started my job, my lead paired me up with a senior engineer on my team who was appointed as my official mentor. He became my point person who I could DM on Slack and ask questions. Right off the bat, anytime I needed help with anything or I had a question about code, my mentor offered to jump on a call with me and help me work things out. He didn't just give me the answers, but instead we worked together to find solutions by using our shared knowledge and available resources. We were both assigned to work on the same project, so we ended up pair programming a lot, usually because I'd be stuck on something or feel like I needed a second pair of eyes on my code. When we paired together, I got to learn from his past experiences and benefit from his higher level knowledge in certain areas. I also got much faster access to and awareness of internal resources that I would have otherwise had to find on my own. Through pairing with my mentor on the project we were both working on, I was able to build my confidence in explaining technical concepts and communicating about my code. After a while, I also started pairing with other people on my team, and I got to work with people who had a really wide array of knowledge and experience levels. I even got to pair with interns on things that I was more knowledgeable about. After a few weeks, something sort of surprising happened. My mentor reached out to me on Slack and said, "Hey, can we hop on a call? I want to get your opinion on something." My opinion. I was genuinely surprised. Here was someone with 8 years of experience ahead of me who wanted my opinion on some code. Obviously, I said yes, and we ended up working through the issue together. He listened to my opinions, we tried different approaches, and we were able to come up with a better solution together. And this started happening more and more until I realized we had exited our mentor-mentee relationship and became true peers, working together to share our ideas and solve difficult problems. Through all of this, I had become a more valuable member of the team, and I was able to make more meaningful contributions. And this is where we come to the theme of my talk, which is pair programming as mentorship. I see a lot of people treat mentorship as a conversation. And while having an open dialogue is a really important part of that relationship and process, I think when it comes to early career developers, having a mentor who sits down and works through code with you provides a lot more value than sitting down and just talking once or twice a week. When you sit down and solve difficult problems together, you give your mentee the opportunity to build their confidence, practice their skills, and use you as a live resource. And you get to share your knowledge in real time along the way. The benefit of this relationship isn't only to the mentee, though. At some point in this process, or hopefully at many points, there will be a role reversal where your mentee is able to teach you something you didn't even know before. Even if someone is early in their career, they may have experience with some technology or some concept you've yet to learn, and it's always safe to assume that everyone knows something you don't know yet. And as a mentor, you get the experience of re-solidifying your knowledge by approaching problems you may have encountered in the past through a new lens. If I had more time, I could dive into a lot more practical advice on how and when and why to pair program as much as you possibly can, with tips for accessibility and the comfort of all participants. But since I only have a maximum of 5 minutes to share this with you, what I hope you take away from this is that pair programming is something that you should enthusiastically embrace, especially in your role as a mentor. And if you'd like to hear a longer version of this talk with all of that practical advice, maybe, hopefully, I'll be invited back to speak next year. Thank you again to RailsConf for inviting me today. And if you'd like to get in touch and chat about software development or pair programming or Ruby or Rails or really good coffee, you can find me on Twitter at @thecodepixie. Thank you so much.